I'm really not sure how I feel about Little Orphan Annie's A Very Animated Christmas. I have mentioned before that I have a love-hate relationship with Annie. I grew up adoring the classic musical that we all know and love. And then I was in a school production of it, and I got so sick of it. But I have, since then, watched almost every other version of it. I haven't seen Annie's Royal Adventure, but I've seen various remakes of it. And then I watched Little Orphan Annie's A Very Animated Christmas, which was released in 1995. It's 30 minutes in length and is directed by Gwen Welter, written by Michael E. Uslan and Harold Gray. And I was actually really surprised to see that this has an overall IMDb rating of 6.2, although, to be fair, that is across just 9 ratings, so it's certainly not the most well-known thing. And I think the reason why I'm confused about this is because I find it hard to place it in the timeline of the musical. It's definitely not canon Annie, if there is such a thing. Because basically, Little Orphan Annie is out on the streets on her own with Sandy, and then this just guy comes along and says, "Hey, little girl, come with me." And she does. And he takes her to Oliver Warbucks' house. But he's in a very bad mood. He's a very Scrooge at this moment because he's very stressed and it's almost Christmas. And he just refuses to acknowledge Annie. So she runs away and he is visited by 3 ghosts, Christmas past, present and future, who show him the error of his ways. And ultimately, and I guess this is going to spoil the ending, but feel like I kind of need to, ultimately he realises that she is a little girl who needs love, who needs help, and he can be the one to fix that. It's very odd as well, the description on IMDb refers to him as Daddy Warbucks, but he's not Daddy Warbucks when Annie visits him. So obviously the moral there is nice, the message is nice, but ultimately it just doesn't work if you've already seen Annie. Also, she's wearing the bright red dress in the film, in the short. That's the bright red dress that she is given by Daddy Warbucks around about Christmas time for their Christmas party. So why is she wearing it when she's living on the street? Doesn't make any sense. Obviously they did it so that it's eye-catching, so if you just happen to glance at this, you instantly recognise it as Annie. But again, if you've seen the musical, doesn't make a lot of sense. And the fact that Annie would just go off in a limousine with a stranger, I guess as an orphan under Miss Hannigan's care. Miss Hannigan's never mentioned in this. Again, I've got the impression that she sleeps on the streets here. She maybe feels that she hasn't got that much to lose, but it's still a pretty creepy thing where young children watching this will just think it's okay to go off with strangers. So actually it's quite questionable, and there's a lot of things wrong with this in terms of the narrative. The animation quality is nice, the editing is nice, the voice acting is fine. In terms of the production, there's nothing wrong with it. I just think the narrative is creepy, all over the place. Doesn't make a lot of sense if it fits in with the musical. On its own, yeah, it would make sense, the actual development of the narrative would make sense if you remove the fact that the musical exists, remove the fact that the red dress plays an important role in the film. But it's still questionable that this child goes off with a stranger. Not the best. If you like Annie, I'd say give it a go. It's just an interesting way to view the character, but just be prepared to get quite frustrated at a few things that don't fit in with the story of Annie. It's not great, not the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm glad it was only half an hour.